and welcome back to my channel and to a new video. If you're new here, my name is Nicola. I'm a mum of two and I make lifestyle videos, and today I thought I would make a Christmassy themed video for you. We're not Christmas here yet. I haven't decorated yet, partly because the house is a complete tip and I need to clean it and tidy it and sort things before we can even think about putting Christmas decorations up. But I've got some lights up here. That's actually a pumpkin, and all our autumn stuff is still up at the moment. I'm going to bring that down this weekend coming in preparation for Christmas decoration. But yeah, our tree is not up just yet. But I've seen lots of people putting their trees up and getting excited for Christmas, and I think that is brilliant and I am all for it. I have also heard an awful lot of people saying, oh well, Christmas is cancelled because of COVID, everything's rubbish and Christmas is going to be rubbish this year because we can't see anyone. And I kind of feel that that is such a negative way to look at what is such a special and magical time. And every year Christmas is just what we make it. No matter how much money you have, how much time you have, who you can see, whether you're together or alone, you can make it whatever you want it to be. So I am very much a glass half full person. I always have been. I always look on the positive of everything. It drives Andrew mad because I always see the good in people as well, which probably isn't a good thing all the time, but I always try and see the best in everything. And I just think there are so many things we can still do, and there's so many things we can still look forward to this Christmas. And I thought I would share 10 of the best with you. So yeah, I'm going to give you 10 reasons why Christmas is not cancelled, 10 things we can still do to have a really lovely time, even if we are on our own or with only a small number of our family rather than everybody. So let's start with that one. We can still spend time with our family even if we're in lockdown. We can see our families on Zoom. You can have a Zoom quiz on Christmas Day or on Boxing Day. You could have a Zoom games night. You can FaceTime your friends and family. Yes, it's not the same, but we can still make it good. I'm hoping, we don't know yet, but I'm hoping that we will at least go back to the rule of 6 for Christmas time as a minimum, because then hopefully my parents will either be able to come to us or one of my siblings for Christmas and they won't be on their own. They usually come to us on Christmas Day, and then we usually all go en masse to somebody either here or to somebody else on Boxing Day. I'm pretty sure that's not going to happen this year, but hopefully, you know, we can do something. We can think of something, a way that we can all at least see each other. I think a quiz is a great idea. I mean, you may be all sick of Zoom quizzes by now, but I think it's been a while since we've done one. We haven't done anything like that in the second lockdown. It was only in the first. So a Zoom quiz would be a fab idea to do, certainly for my family on Christmas. My parents would probably only be able to do that if they were with us or with one of my siblings, because I don't think they'd be able to manage Zoom on their own. But yeah, so you can still see your family even if you're not with them. And, you know, thinking of people at Christmas is such an important thing. You know, thinking of them, sending a special gift. I've just sent my parents, you know, one of those Quality Street named tins. So my surname is Bromley, and so I got a Bromley Street one. I've just sent it to them, and they haven't received it yet, but so sent it to them in the post as a special treat, just something to make them smile. And I think there's all sorts of things like that we can do. If we can't see friends and family, we can still do something special for them. So yeah, there is still things we can do. Okay, number 2 is movie nights. You know, you don't have to go to cinema to see a film. You know, there's so many great films on Netflix and on TV at the moment. Close the curtains, get the fairy lights on, get the duvets down, get the popcorn out, hot chocolate, drinks, whatever you fancy. Make it cozy and have a fantastic movie night. We just watched, in fact I say I just watched Jingle Jangle on Netflix at the weekend, and it has had so many bad reviews, but I absolutely loved it. I'm gonna force my kids to sit down. My kids aren't very good at movies, to be honest. They don't sit and watch films very often, but when we do, we always really enjoy it. So we're all a bit on the go all the time, so we don't often have time to just sit and watch a film. But these times are great for doing that. We've got far less on this Christmas than we would normally have on, so why not do things that we normally don't have time to do, like sit and watch a movie? But yeah, Jingle Jangle, if you haven't seen it, I thoroughly recommend it. It's got very much Greatest Showman vibes. It's a musical, and yeah, I loved it. So yeah, movie nights are a great way to just feel Christmassy and festive and get cozy and warm at home. Number 3, if you haven't already, decorate together. I know a lot of people have already done it, but if you haven't, then spend a day decorating your house. Maybe buy a new decoration for your tree. I have avoided buying a 2020 lockdown decoration. I've seen lots of them on Instagram and in the shops. I'm not 100% sure I want to remember this year in a Christmas decoration. I don't know, I'm undecided. I kind of think it's good to have, we usually buy a new Christmas decoration every year, and I'm kind of thinking maybe actually not having one for this year is the way to remember this year, rather than to buy one to remind me that we were locked down and stayed at home. I mean, you know, this year has been terrible for a lot of people. We're very fortunate that, you know, we all still have our health and we are well. So, you know, in that respect, for us, it could have been worse. However, I'm not sure it's one I want to remember. So I'm not going to buy a 2020 decoration, I don't think. However, we are going to have a great day decorating this house and making it amazing. It's mad, all this extra time I've had at home, in my head I'm like, oh, I want to change all our decor, I want to change our Christmas decorations. But our tree is very much a memory tree. We've got decorations from all the places we've been, but in my head I'd like a theme, but we don't really have a theme. So I'm trying to resist chucking everything out and starting again. Can't afford to do that. So yeah, we're gonna have a great day decorating together, and that's something we can all still do. So I would thoroughly recommend that. Going out for family walks, okay, you know, we might have all done a lot of walking this year, but they're still good fun. And this time of year particularly, you know, autumn going into winter, if it's not raining, then it's a great opportunity to get out, maybe get some holly to decorate your house with, or some mistletoe, go out and just look at nature and enjoy the fresh air. We are stuck inside a lot at the moment. My daughter at the moment is isolating because a child in her class had COVID, so we are spending a lot of time in the house. So getting out into the fresh air is just what we need to do, go out and get walks and things like that. So as soon as we are she's out of her isolation, we're going to be out there getting the fresh air and walking the dog as much as we can. And you know, National Trust places are still open. If you have a National Trust membership, which we do, it's a great opportunity to get out and go and visit some amazing places. I think a lot of the houses are closed, but the gardens are still open. I know Stowe House near us is a fantastic place to go for really lovely walks. And if you pay for your National Trust membership monthly, then it's a really cheap day out. So yeah, places like that are great for wintry, autumny, festive walks. Going to see some Christmas lights. Now, I think most towns won't be having big Christmas light switch-ons this year, but there are still lights there, and there are still places where you can go and have a little drive around. You know, lots of houses will have gone to town this year and really put up some amazing decorations. So as soon as the decorations start going up, I think we're going to get in the car one evening and have a little drive around and see. There is a place near us where the whole street goes crazy and does these amazing lights for charity, but they're not doing it this year, which is a real shame. But I think there'll be lots of places where you can go. When I was young, my mum and I used to jump in the car at like 11:30 at night and drive up to London and see the lights there. And we're a little bit too far away where we live now. It would take probably take an hour and a half, hour maybe at best, to get up to London at that time of night. So probably wouldn't do that here. But you know, even our local towns and villages have amazing lights. So just go out, you know, maybe have a hot chocolate in the car and go out and see your local Christmas lights. Another fantastic thing you can do at this time of year, which doesn't involve much going out, is to maybe do an advent calendar with a difference. We usually do an activity advent calendar, which I will link below. I did a video about it last year. It's going to take a little bit more creative thinking this year, because usually I would have included trips to the pantomime, trips to carol concerts and things like that, which we're not doing, but we can do a lot more crafty things and things like that this year. Christmas crafts is something that we rarely have time to do, and I'm really looking forward to doing a bit more of that this year. So yeah, Christmas crafts, doing an advent calendar, a book advent calendar I know is something that a lot of people do. You don't have to buy brand new books, but if you've got Christmassy books already, if you've got small children, you can wrap one up for each day of Advent. You could also buy a few new ones. I know the Works do an amazing deal, I think 3 books for a tenner, and I think they always have a Black Friday sale that's coming up as well. So a book advent is a really good idea, and I wanted to show you this book which we bought last year. It is called How Winston Delivered Christmas. You can get this on Amazon, I will link it below, but this I bought for Phoebe last Christmas, and I actually bought it for Andrew's niece for her birthday back in October. For her, because we loved it so much last year. And it's basically a book, and you read a chapter a night from the 1st to the 24th of December, and it's all about a little mouse that tries to get a letter to Father Christmas. And then amongst all the stories, there are also, and the pictures are beautiful in this book, but there are also activities. You can see there, look, make a Winston finger puppet. There are recipes for baking and things like that. So it is such a good idea if you didn't want to buy 24 books, if you haven't got Christmas books, or you didn't want to wrap up 24 books, to do something like this, and then you've got a chapter each night to read, and I would thoroughly recommend it. It's lovely for children up to sort of 10, I suppose. I think Phoebe and I will read it again this year just to make the most of it while we still can. But yeah, an Advent story in 24.5 chapters. I think there is a chapter for Christmas Day as well. So yeah, Christmas advent calendars, things like that. And going back to like the crafting idea, baking is another thing that I am so looking forward to doing more of this year. I always bake gingerbread every year, but it tends to be a bit rushed, and it's like, oh, when are we going to do it? Oh, I've got to do gingerbread. I've got to make it on that day because there's no other time to make it. Because we're usually so busy, but you know, our weekends are empty. Well, we've got a few things booked in, but you know, we're not 100% sure that those things are going to go on. So there is still plenty of time to do extra things. So yeah, I'm going to make some gingerbread. I make Disney Christmas gingerbread. There is a video on that too. I'll link it down below. But yes, making some mince pies, which I haven't done for years. We haven't made a Christmas cake for years, and we all really like Christmas cake. So I'd love to make that, and also it means I can use my Spode Christmas cake cutter, which cake knife, which my friend bought me for my birthday. So I think we will do all of those things. So the last couple of things, there are still events still on. So I think ice skating, there's a local garden centre to here. They still have ice skating on book to book over Christmas. The one we usually go to, I don't think is having theirs, but there are several in the Northampton area I know that are still doing ice skating over Christmas. So I'm going to book a couple of sessions for that, definitely, over the coming weeks. And you know, garden centres are still on. I don't know about trips to see Santa. I'm sure there will be places that will find a way around it and find a way where you can go and visit Father Christmas. There are still other events. There are still pantomimes that are on. I think obviously they're all very socially distanced, but you can still go. There are still things available to go and see and do. We are going to a laser Christmas Lapland light show at Silverstone racing track. You drive around in your car and look at all the wonderful lights. And I think it costs £35 or £40 for the car, so for all 4 of us to go, and that's so much cheaper than going to a pantomime. I tell you, we usually go up to London to go and see a London panto or a London show at Christmas. So you know, we've saved a lot by not doing that this year, and I'm going to miss it. But there are other things we can do. So so yeah, we've booked for that. But yeah, there are lots of things that are still on. So have a look in your local area and see the things that you can still do, because you know, it's not all cancelled. Some things are, but not everything. And last but not least is something that we try and do as part of our activity Advent, but I'm going to do a little bit more of this year, and that's giving back. So we always try and fill a basket of food for the food bank, and I think we'll probably add some toys and things into that as well this year. You can bag up things and take them to your local homeless shelter. There are all sorts of charities that need help at this time of year, and if you're in a position to do so, then I always think it's worth doing, even if it's just putting a couple of extra cans of food into your shopping basket when you're doing your weekly shop, or you know, when you buy a book for a child, maybe buy 2 and then stick one into, give one to the food bank who take donations, or to your local charity that are taking donations. Even donating things that you no longer need to your local charity shop is still doing something really important. You know, we're making room probably for more toys and more stuff at Christmas time, so it's a good opportunity to clear out the old, pass it on to somebody who needs it, and then bring in the new. So yeah, giving back is a really important one, and it's something we can still do, and we must still do if we're in a position to do so. It can easily get forgotten when you're bogged down in all the things that are going on and the negativity, I guess, around life at the moment, and forget about the people that are worse off than ourselves. So I think it's really important to remember, you know, if you can, just to give a little back wherever you can. And that's my top 10 things that you can still do if we're locked down at Christmas, that you can still enjoy. Christmas is not cancelled in any way, shape or form. We can still have a lovely time. It can still be magical. And for me, I'm really looking forward to it. So I hope you're looking forward to Christmas too. If you've got any other ideas of things that I've left off the list that you want to leave in the comments below, then please do, because I'm sure everyone will benefit from some different ideas, because I think sometimes we get bogged down in what we can't do and forget about all the things that we can. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe down below if you're not already, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.
Hold up, I am on my way, I'm in motion. Let's go to the ocean, yeah, let's go.